I think we all know how we felt about it, and I think we all know we don't want to do that again, particularly for the reasons that were given.
This show was so much fun. This is one of those shows where, like, the second an episode ended, I needed to start the next one and just keep going. Ended up watching the whole season in just 2 days. Your character's fantastic, but I'd love to ask you, what drew you to want to be a part of Silo?
Well, everything you just experienced. It was all, the potential for that was always on the page. Read all the scripts, talked to Graham Yost, who took me through the journey and where the journey might go in a season 2 or 3. I was intrigued by the part. It's a challenging role in that it's a character in a position of authority that has to take a tremendous burden on his shoulders in order for the silo to survive. So I'm always curious about what that does to a person. What does happen to a person who compromises what might be their sense of right or wrong for the greater good? And also whether that is really necessary. Could it perhaps be paternalistic to think that the people won't understand or won't be able to deal with the truth? And I always find that leads to trouble and throughout history. Yet it's repeated again and again and again, and was unfortunately, I believe, repeated recently. And so what the challenge of, playing that role is in bringing a sympathy and a compassion for that kind of person. And I'm not sure whether he's good or bad still. I haven't resolved that yet in my mind. The other reason I wanted to do the show is because of the great cast that was assembled, and the writers are fantastic. The director, Graham Yost, the cinematographer, the designers. It was just a great team. And the other beautiful thing about it is that we worked decent hours. People on the crew got to go home and be with their kids and have dinner with their kids and come in the next day with that kind of attitude, instead of this terrible situation that happens in the States often, is that, we working 12, 14, 16-hour days. And our unions allow that. And that's in the 21st century. And that's not right.
Yeah, that's nice that you're able to do that.
We got to treat people better.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Industry. Absolutely. I can't imagine working those hours. I work long hours and they're not even that long, and it's hard with 2 little kids. It's very difficult. I'd love to know, for you personally, Tim, like, say you were stuck in a silo, would you be like, I got to clean, I got to get out of here, I got to know what's out there? Or would you like kind of be content living in the silo and just not exploring the truth?
It's interesting you say clean, because when I was in lockdown and isolated, that's all I did. Inside, I cleaned, I fixed stuff. I had projects. I don't want to imagine myself in this kind of world, because I will never be in this kind of world. And I think, we got a taste of it, a lot of us, recently. And I think we all know how we felt about it. And I think we all know we don't want to do that again. Particularly for the reasons that were given and how it played out. I think that if the outcome had been different, we would all have patted ourselves on the back and said, good on us for doing what we did. But unfortunately, I don't think that it was something that was absolutely necessary. the scary part about it is that it happened, and there were too many people that were absolutely compliant with it and still want to go back to that.
Yeah.
So maybe the silo will convince them that's not a good idea. It's a cautionary tale. It's written, I think, in the spirit of a great allegory that speaks about a fictional reality, but completely is relevant to today. I think it's in the tradition of books like 1984 and Brave New World. And I think it's an important story to tell right now. It's entertaining, and it's part of it is a thriller and a murder mystery, and there's all these different layers that play in it, and hopefully we'll get to do a season 2.
I hope so. I have my fingers crossed. 2, 3, 4, just give them all to me.
Keep on coming.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much for your time, Tim.
My pleasure.